everything popular is wrong. This is just kind of my general outlook on life. Like if everybody's doing the same thing, going to college, getting in debt, trying to get a higher paying job so that they get a bigger house and a bigger car and more expensive clothes, then I'm just gonna see what happens if I just do the exact opposite, you know, like within reason. These are some principles of financial minimalism that completely changed my life, and hopefully they can change yours too. And make sure you stick around to the end because I have a huge announcement that I'm super excited to tell you guys about. So make sure you watch till the end. Less is not laziness. Pretty much anybody you ask how they're doing, they're gonna say, I'm busy. I'm like, good, but I'm busy. Work's crazy right now. They'll start talking about work. And as a culture, we kind of have that as a badge of honor where we're working 80 hours a week. Things are going crazy. You're always on your phone, answering emails 15 times a day, just constantly trying to do more and more stuff, get a bigger and bigger raise. And a lot of times we'll confuse activity with productivity. And there's really a big difference. But as a financial minimalist, I'm really trying to use the 80-20 rule as much as I possibly can in almost every area of my life. When it comes to clothing, what 20% of clothes do I wear all the time? And can I just get rid of that other 80% that I don't wear? When it comes to finances and my business and earning money, what's 20% of the actions or people or time that leads to 80% of the headaches? Can I get rid of those? And as we do start to simplify our life and our finances, you don't have to fill up that space with just more stuff because we always have this constant need just to do more. It just really comes down to trying to do less but better. Listen to Nike. Actually, this is cut. When I first got my rental property at 22, I was scared. I didn't know how to do any type of like even basic repairs. And oftentimes we will let excuses stop us from taking action. But when it comes to a lot of the bigger things in life, sometimes we just need to take action. We need to take a step that's scary, that's something new. We need to do it, we need to learn from it, and that's just how we actually progress in our lives. Sometimes you have to just do it. There's only so much preparation you can do, and you don't want to get stuck in analysis paralysis where you're just thinking about starting a business, thinking about investing, thinking about writing that novel that you know is inside of you. You actually have to start and make a process so that you can actually move forward towards those goals, because otherwise it's just a dream. It's not something that you're actually taking action on and doing. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. As long as it won't hurt other people, sometimes we need to go out and actually do something, even if it's scary or weird for the people around us. Especially in minimalism, you're gonna live a very different lifestyle than most people around you. As a financial minimalist, you're probably gonna be very frugal. You might not go out to eat as much. You might move from a big house down to a smaller house, or sell your extra car, or sell your new car and have an older car. A lot of things that won't seem normal to other people. And instead of trying to fit in with everybody around you and waiting till everybody understands, you have to do what's right for you, what's right for your family, what's right for your future, even if it's weird, even if people judge you, and realize that you are making the best decision for you, and you can't please everybody. And honestly, you don't want to please everybody, because then you're just like everybody else and you don't want to be normal. Use your strengths and avoid your weaknesses. This kind of sounds counterintuitive to what most people try to do. Most people try to work on their weaknesses and they don't really play to their strengths as much. But honestly, it is way more efficient to work on things that you're actually good at, and all that other stuff that you kind of suck at, just try to avoid it. Like for me, I'm relatively decent at making videos. It's something that I have a lot of fun doing. I enjoy it. It's the most profitable part of my job because everything else is just thinking about it. This is the actual action that makes progress in my life. But there are other things that I absolutely hate doing, like my taxes, anything with numbers, sitting down for long periods of time, doing things like editing. So all those things that I suck at or I just don't want to do, I try to outsource those to other people so I can focus on the things that I'm actually good at that actually make progress in my life. More money is not always the answer. Don't get me wrong, money is super useful. I'm a big fan myself, but adding more of it is not the solution as often as we would think it is. I used to do this a lot where I would say, if I only had more money, then I could do this. Once I get this raise, then I'll be more happy. Once I get that second job, once I get that new job, whatever it is, that is the solution. Instead of actually taking a step back and asking, like, what is it in my life right now that I should be taking action on, doing some self-examination. Instead of actually doing that, we tend to just try to work harder and have that be the solution to almost everything in our life. If you're getting any value out of this, it would mean a ton to me if you would drop a like and subscribe. Build wealth over income. Most people focus on scaling their income, and while that is important as a financial minimalist, I kind of have a different approach to this, and that is to build wealth. And here's kind of my definition for wealth. If I earn $5,000 a month and I spend $5,000 a month and I have $5,000 in the bank, then I have 1 month of wealth, because if I stopped working, I stopped earning money, then I would be able to survive for 1 month. However, if I had different investments and streams of income that would pay me, and let's say I only needed $3,000 a month to live on, and I had different investments that paid me $3,000 a month and I had no money in the bank, I would be wealthy because all of my expenses are covered by those different income streams or investments. So instead of trying to build up huge amounts of money so that you can survive off of that money and slowly eat away at it, as a financial minimalist, we more shoot towards building different streams of income so we can have a lot more freedom and build a lot more wealth a lot sooner. I actually talk about this a lot in my course about financial minimalism. I think this is actually a good time to talk about my course, which is actually launching today, where I kind of share everything I've learned about financial minimalism, extremely focused on the frugal living, getting out of debt, kind of those first stages, and then starting to build wealth, different income streams, different side hustles, how to start those, kind of what I've done to be able to leave my job. And honestly, a lot of the stuff that I talk about on this channel, just in a really condensed format with over 30 videos. So if you guys want to sign up for this, during the next 3 days, I'm going to be running the biggest sale we're ever going to have on this. It's 40% off. Also, if you join before the deadline and you have any questions, I'm going to be doing some bonus videos that I'm going to try to answer all of the questions, no matter how long it takes, during a few bonus videos. Although hopefully the course will cover most things. If you're someone who's struggling with their finances, don't really know what the next step should be, and you're really trying to design your lifestyle, then I think this can really make an impact for you. I know this would have saved me a couple of years worth of headaches and struggles with all the mistakes that I've made. So hopefully you can just learn from my mistakes and you don't have to do it yourself. Of course, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. If you're not satisfied for whatever reason, you can just return the course, no questions asked. Of course, if you follow through with all the things that I talk about in this course, I know that you can easily make your money back just with like one of the tips that I talk about. Like I've talked about before, and with all the ways I invest, this is a great way to invest into yourself if that's something that you want to do. And if you do, there's a link down in the description. Stress is actually kind of a good thing. Don't get me wrong, I hate stress. That's one of the things that originally got me into minimalism, and one of the biggest benefits of financial minimalism is having no financial stress, or at least very low financial stress after putting in some time. However, stress is actually super important, as it's what forces us to grow. It's just not the same type of stress. For instance, if we avoid destructive criticism and people tearing us down, that is a good thing. But if we avoid all criticism, that's a bad thing, because it's from that, and taking constructive criticism is how we actually grow and we get better at things. This is the same thing with going to the gym. If you don't put stress on your muscles and actually break them down, you can't build and grow. And it's like that with every area of our life. Sometimes we need urgency, sometimes we need stress and people to push us, and for us to push ourselves out of our comfort zones in order to progress in our lives. Things in excess become their opposite. You eat a half gallon and you're gonna be sick. You have a few drinks, you can have a good time. If you have a lot of drinks, you're gonna regret it and just promise yourself that you're never gonna drink again. And the same thing is true with our financial lives. A reasonable amount of pushing ourselves and growing and building our income is good, but if that is your life's goal, then you're gonna eventually have problems. I know for me, I've gotten extremely obsessed about different things before, and while that is beneficial for a time, if you don't have anything else in your life to be like a normal person and other hobbies and things to focus on and family, then it doesn't matter how successful you are at that thing. A lot of times you're gonna feel empty when you're not doing that thing, and you just have no choice but to continually run on the treadmill. So while I do still try to get obsessed about certain things for a short period of time, also want to make sure that you have a well-balanced life and you're not too obsessed. Even if it's a good thing, you can get a little bit too over the top with it. Never stop learning. This is something that really is the difference between people who really progress in their life and people who kind of get caught in the cycle of the 9 to 5, doing kind of the common American dream thing. And it doesn't mean that they're lazy. A lot of times it just means that they stay in their comfort zone. But pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone and continuing to progress and try to better yourself is, for me, what has led to most of the happiness and improvement that I've ever had in my life. This can mean reading books. It doesn't have to be a crazy amount. It can be one a month. It could just be reading or watching book reviews, which I share on here about once a month. It could also be buying courses, going to seminars, just checking out free stuff. Like whatever it is, if you don't invest in growing in a bunch of different areas in your life and you're just okay with where you are, a lot of times that leads to unhappiness. And this is why I've bought so many books and Audible and gone to the library, bought courses, gone to seminars, and why I'm so passionate about sharing everything that I'm learning with you guys on this channel and also in the course. I think it's just super important, and you never know what one idea can completely change your life. Don't forget to check out the course. There's a link down in the description. Again, it's on sale for the next 5 days. Never gonna be this cheap again. We got some bonus stuff in there. I'm continually adding new videos as we go along. I'm gonna do some Q&As. If you're someone who's trying to turn their finances around and just really learn all of the basics of financial minimalism, which is the FIRE movement and minimalism, kind of put together in easy to understand steps, I think it really would have helped me and saved me a lot of time when I was getting started. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next week.